Just because you don't agree with me doesn't make you correct.
But you haven't got in a position to disagree with. You're just saying
Of course
it's
I
not
do.
a globe and you're leaving
That's
it
always
there.
been my.
He has a position. His position is the same as your angle. They don't know.
No,
they just say they don't know.
my position is my position. Through diligence, through
yeah,
hard
but you say
work,
the same thing as him. You guys just say you don't know.
No. Through looking, I've been out here longer than him, publicly exploring this. I'm the one who's made myself vulnerable.
Yeah, but Merl, when you're
Merl, I'm not saying. Hold on. I'm not saying he said before you.
Let him finish. Go ahead, Merl.
It's just there's just this thing about I've got nothing against your angle. His journey started pretty much in here last year. You know, maybe midway through, or whenever Renee brought him in here. I've been out here publicly on the internet for nearly a decade. My journey's there, Kikuchi.
But no one is saying
all the flip outs, all the discussions, all the debates, all the insults. It's all there. And my reaction.
No one is saying you're following your angle. What I'm saying is you're in the same position as him. No one's saying he was here before you. But you follow the same thing as he says. You both say you don't know.
I arrived there before him and many people because.
But no one's saying you didn't, though. Like, I don't know what you're trying to get at. No one's saying you was here before.
Right, he's got the same position as you.
Yeah, and
he's got the same position.
You're happier now.
The thing is, Merl, like you say, what are you trying to convince people of?
What am I trying to convince people of? Nothing.
Exactly.
I'm letting people know that there's a situation on the earth. You can listen to what I'm saying or not. Take it or leave it. Agree to disagree. That's it. You don't have to fight me. I don't have to fight you.
What's the position on the earth that you're trying to convince people of? This is you trying to convince people of something. You're trying to assert something. What are you asserting?
That there's more to it.
Okay. But
if you have an intelligent designer, you should try to find out about what that actually is.
He should just come to me, Merl. Why should I have to go to him?
Well, I mean, if you're dealing with intelligence and intelligent design, there's evidence of it, right? So if we're all part of that, what does that mean? Are we intelligent designers too? Yes. So when you die, it might go on. That's one of the big questions. So it's like we're in a stepped down state. Like we could be gods, if you will. Not God.
Yeah, but you're not willing to accept any facts, though.
That's not true.
It is true. Okay, listen. Let me give you an example. I'll give you a fact. I'll give you a fact. When you come in here and say you don't know, right? And people are presenting you with evidence that they know because of these evidences, but you keep denying them. That's on you.
No. Evidence and explanation is evidence and explanation fact?
I mean, depends on who you ask.
So is it?
Give us an example. To someone who believes in the globe, the 96 million miles away is a fact, but to you it's not. So
there's a broken window and a stone in the lounge room. And then the mum comes home and says, "Why is the window broken?" And the child says, "Oh, a bird flew through the window." What are the facts?
Your fact is that the window is broken.
Right, exactly. Who broke the window? What broke the window? And so there's all explanations. There's all evidence. What really happened? What's the truth? It's always been here, Kikuchi. A baller and a flat earther both can lie, right?
They can.
Well, what they can do is they can lie, but they're showing you evidence.
Yeah, you can evaluate the suite of evidence. You can evaluate
how close does the evidence? How close does the evidence and the proof and what they say get to the actual facts and the truth?
As close as anything we've got.
Well,
yeah. So what is it about? Let's just say, give an example of the globe Earth. What is it about this certain evidence that you don't believe?
There's many things about it that I don't believe, and it's very convoluted.
But my point is this: you went from flat Earth. You went from flat Earth to your position now saying that you don't know, right? So something from the globe side convinced you that it's not flat. That's why you reverted back from being flat earther, right?
No.
Then why would you turn back from flat Earth?
Because flat Earth wasn't really the position. My position was the Earth wasn't a globe. But to know what it actually was from that, flat Earth was the only option for a
Pretty
lot of
useless
people.
position,
It
Merl.
wasn't concave. Well, if the Earth isn't a globe, what is it then? Can anyone here tell me? I thought so.
That's
So
a big if. That's a big if.
land, Merle.
That's a big if,
It's
though.
the land.
Why have we got to make up a thing? Why have we got to accept? In order to answer that question, we've got to accept the premise that the Earth isn't a globe, and it is.
Yeah. Merl,
It's
if strawberries
not.
don't taste, Merl, if strawberries don't taste nice, what do they taste of then?
Who says it's not? What is it then? Whoever said it's
Earth
not, what
is
is
the
it then?
land.
Well, it's not whoever said it's not.
Who's talking in Discord? Who was that?
I don't know.
It's toothbrush guy.
Oh, that was
The guy with the thick voice. Who's the one saying it's
shower
not?
or use soap guy.
This is the thing. Why would anybody be convinced of someone who's saying the thing that you all believe and that is corroborated by an absolute plethora of evidence isn't the reality? People are going to go, well, what is then? I don't know. What are they bringing to the table?
Well, they tried to bring flat, but that got rejected very quickly.
No, we didn't bring flat. Flat was brought to us. Psyops.
What does that mean?
I'm just not buying this argument because you were flat earther, but something in the globe side convinced you that it's not flat, but you're saying
that's
no.
That's your assumption.
Okay, so why would you? But I'm asking you, why would you go from flat Earth to not believing in it anymore?
Flat Earth doesn't work.
Yeah, but okay. So what was the evidence that convinced you that it didn't work?
Well, they have half a model, they have half a map, half a brain.
They don't even have half.
So how do you know that the globe doesn't work then? The globe model doesn't work.
It's too convoluted. Most of the model is the occult anyway. It's dark matter and dark energy. So you've got
because they use the word dark. It's the occult.
Because only God works. That's the correct answer.
You've got a localized system. The gravitational model only works on a small scale. It doesn't work on a cosmic universal
scale. It's a solar system with a main sequence G3 yellow star in the middle, and the planets always go around it.
The sun doesn't affect everything in the universe, though. Just us.
Actually, it does.
No, you can't prove that.
It does. It's really small at distance, but it does.
It's all part of the mess.
But you've got a set of you've been listening to people saying, oh yeah, that those postulations they make on the fringes of time and space mean that the model of the solar system's a load of rubbish as well.
So it's not rubbish. It's just been revised, and they have to. So this is what happens on Earth. You get
it doesn't have to be revised, though, Merl.
Wait. You get Earth. That's what you get. You get gravity, the sun, air. So on the air level, air isn't air, is it? It's other things as well.
Here's the problem with what you're saying.
But there's a point there because you get a basic understanding of it in primary school, in high school, and university. That the real
it's not a basic understanding. It's not a basic understanding. It's not a basic understanding.
Here's the problem, dude. When you take on the flat Earth side, right? You have your argument on that side, and the Globers have their argument, and you could argue about it. When you say you don't know, that's where the issue is. Okay, so then listen to the people who claim they know, listen to their evidence, and
already happened.
Yeah. So are you saying you're not convinced? Is that what it is?
Not convinced. There's no definitive anything other than the Earth being here and the sky being here. How did it get here? What created it? Unknown. Question mark, question mark.
But that's not related to the shape of the Earth, though.
Yes, it is.
But you're invoking a creator.
No? What created the Earth has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
Oh, that's just naive.
That is not naive at all. That's like saying what happens when you die. It's not related.
Just keep listening to yourself. You'll be embarrassed. You're not.
You're saying how did the Earth become Earth? That has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. Are you talking about the evolution?
Merl, if we gave
two different things.
If we gave you a basketball and you didn't know if it was an Adidas or a Spalding, would you know what shape it was?
Yes.
Oh, good. But you don't know how it was created. You don't know who made it.
I'm trying to let Kikuchi know that not knowing what creation is or how it truly
Well,
works.
we're not talking about creation. I'm not saying
Yes,
I
we
know
are.
how the earth. No, we're not. We're talking about
Yes, we
the
are.
shape of the earth.
I am. So you're having a conversation. I'm having a conversation. My conversation is we exist in a creation. That's a fact.
Well, do
What
we
fact
actually have
do
a
you
mechanism for how planets
What
are
fact
created?
do you have? Where do you think we exist, Kikuchi? What do we exist in?
Is this a
We
one-on-one?
exist on an earth. That's what we exist on.
Well, there you go.
But
that's
to
a
me, you're
creation.
separating the arguments. The argument that how the earth was created is different than what the shape of the earth is. You're mixing the two. You're basically saying if you believe in globe earth, you believe in evolution, you believe in this and that. Like you're tying it all together. That's not true. There's many globe earthers that I know that they don't believe in the moon landing. There's many of them don't believe in the evolution. So it's two different things. It's not tied together.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why you can't just have a blanket sticker like flat earther or ball head. That's
or young Earth
generalizing.
creationist.
Yeah, it's just putting a label on somebody and saying
Whoever give the basketball example, go ahead. Sorry, I feel like you wanted to.
Brad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
I feel like
No, I'm just wondering why he keeps making these arguments, getting spanked, and then moves on to another one that you spank him on. You've been making good points. Okay, so let's talk creation. Do we actually have a mechanism in the current scientific model of how a planet is formed?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Does whatever your model is have that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, we can. So you can get
God did it.
You can get a grain of dirt.
Soil?
Grain of just a particle of dirt, right?
Soil.
Soil. You can get one drop of water.
Mm-hmm.
A splinter of wood.
Yeah.
And put it all on the
plus
table.
a nickel will get you fuck all.
There's your ingredients.
Hey, really?
Where's it all come from?
Okay. Well, I can give you those three things. Can you make me a planet?
So then we have gas and dust in the cosmic.
Well, this is not. You're not describing a mechanism. You're just giving me a list of things.
We have gas and dust in. We have gas and dust in the cosmic fugue, and that clumps
You're
together.
In a cosmic fugue.
It coalesces.
Merl did give the ingredients for a muddy stick.
So you got a load of stuff that.
There's nowhere in the universe where they're observing. There's nowhere in the universe they're showing us anywhere where they're observing this happen. This coalescence where everything clumps together and it.
Sorry, I thought you were giving us your explanation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've got all the ingredients catalogued.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah, we get that.
Right. That doesn't.
And how do they come together?
Gas and dust.
Because I can give you those ingredients.
How does gas and dust produce wood?
Oh, for fuck's
when you get all those ingredients together,
you're all over the place.
You notice how you've had to give up explaining your model that you claimed you had, and now you're asking us questions about ours.
Yeah.
No, I have my model. My model's creation. I've got all the elements and the ingredients of the universe at my disposal.
But so you mean
where did they all come from?
You mean the Old Testament version of creation? Is when you say creation, is that what you mean?
No.
Okay, what do you mean then? It's creation. What does that mean?
So when somebody produces a meal, they've created something. So
I know what the word creation means. I want to know what you mean by it when you say creation. Because what we're asking you is for the mechanism for how all this came about, and you're just going creation. I mean, that's not really a mechanism, is it? It's just a word.
Yeah, I know. It's not.
We're asking you about what was the means of creation.
It's not biblical.
Okay, so what is it?
So they've excluded one possibility. What is your actual claim?
Well, that the intelligent designer, like we do, was bored and wanted to create an experiment, and the intelligent designer created the universe and us, and we're trying to figure out why.
That sounds a bit like the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you're just saying God did it, aren't you? That's your model.
Because we follow logic and reason, and it's said that we're created in whatever created us' image. So we're just miniature versions of whatever created us.
But what you've just described, it doesn't have any reasoning. It's just God did it.
It does have reasoning because.
Okay, so what's the line of reasoning? What's the line of reasoning that gets you from God did it to here it all is in all its glory? How do you get from the one to the other?
I think you just have to look at human beings. We have a nature. We all have personalities. We are a biological machine.
Right. This is the trouble, Merl. We're asking you about the creation of the earth. You go, look at humans.
Yeah. That doesn't emerge out of primordial soup. That lightning struck one day. No, your story is primordial soup.
Right, but we're not. Okay, we get that you don't believe our story. We get that you don't believe our story, but we're asking you what your story is, and you don't seem very sure. You now seem to be on some sort of watchmaker argument. Look at it all. How can it not be a god? Sort of thing.
Well, I mean, I've not been here anywhere near as long as your illustrious 10 years, yeah. But if I were you, mate, I'd stick to the music.
I mean, when it comes to this, Gem, one thing I know about humans is they're not honest.
Ain't that the truth?
They're not.
Right.
And they put up fronts.
They do.
Especially when they're like on the road, when they don't know something. It's funny what a human being will do.
They get aggressive and
like
they threaten to kill people.
Reverse the burden of proof, that sort of thing.
Threaten to kill people, get aggressive, call everyone a cunt, and run away.
That's you, bro.
I'm always doing that. I'm always calling everyone here a cunt and running away and threatening to kill Gem. That's me,
yeah,
innit?
Yeah. I mean, that's what's going on in the other server. You're the one getting muted more than me, bro. You're the one rumpusing rooms.
I have not insulted anybody, and I have not threatened anybody, and I have not threatened to kill anybody, Merl.
Well, you do get muted.
Well, that's you're just on a good day at the moment. Like, let's reduce you and everyone in the community calling you a retard and blah blah blah. Let's see how you go. But anyway, so when we rise out of ignorance, because that seems to be the human problem, that everyone knows what's going on, but no one knows what's going on, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Humans are confused. Why don't you just be honest about the situation?
Because we're not. That's just you. That's just you projecting. That's you.
We've watched you.
Self-projection, bro.
This is where it is.
Finish. That's just you insisting that you're right, and not just insisting that you're right, but insisting that everybody else just agrees with you. We don't. We're not confused. We're not feeling lost. We don't think we don't know where we are. That's not.
No one agrees. No one agrees about anything.
Yeah, they do. Everyone agrees the Earth's spherical.
No, they don't. So this is the problem. People don't agree with each other. They lie to each other every day.
With that?
And they're confused. This is a fact.
Apart from the flat earthers, who doesn't agree that the Earth's a globe?
I can prove I can prove the Earth's population is confused.
Go on, then.
Right? I can prove that people
lie. No. Go on, then. Do it.
I can prove that people have egos.
Do it.
I can prove,
nobody's saying people don't have egos.
Yeah.
Now,
you can't disprove it. You can't disprove it.
Let's stick with the first one. Prove that the Earth is full of
population's
people confused, or everyone is confused. Prove it.
Okay, so most people listen to mainstream. I know because I worked for the media. So most people listen to the radio, they read the newspaper, they talk to the people around them.
Most people read a newspaper.
So it's all about information.
Maybe 25 years ago. Maybe 25 years ago they read the newspaper.
And finish.
Most of the information on Earth is not the true information.
Merl, you're charged now with proving to me that most people on Earth are confused.
Yes.
And what you've said is people watch mainstream media.
Yes.
Rhetoric, Merl.
Do you think that that's proof that they're confused?
Well, the proof is, and the smoking gun is the true information. And when you put heliocentrism, anything that they've told us together, it doesn't fit.
But do you see how this is just an elaborate way of you insisting that you're right?
No, it can be, and that many
you
people.
Haven't proved that anyone's confused. You've just said people watch the mainstream media, and I don't believe that, and they do. Yeah. So they're confused. Yeah. But you haven't established. You haven't established that you're right to not believe it, and they're wrong to believe it. If that's just what you want to be true, you haven't established that that is true.
No, well, I'm generalizing a little bit, but I could find you a coherent human being and a confused one. I'll do it. I'll get him in a room. I'll ask the confused one bunch of stuff. You'll have examples of confusion. I'll ask the clear one, and you'll have examples of coherency. There's plenty of humans on this, whatever you want to think of it as.
But nobody's arguing
that don't have any coherency in their brain, Gem.
Okay, but nobody is arguing that there are no confused humans. Your argument was they're all confused humans. And you said not just they're all confused humans, but that you can prove that they're all confused humans.
But people don't want to go there.
Well, I just asked you to, and what you said was they all watch mainstream media. That was your proof that they're all confused.
It's all about information. So if we all have the wrong information, they succeeded in confusing us.
Okay, but they would only be confused if they have got the wrong information. And you haven't established that they've got the wrong information. You've just said they watch mainstream media.
So we know that counterintelligence, espionage, conspiracy, deceit, deception, it all exists. I can prove this, Jim. And it's
denying that those things don't exist. But what you've got to do is say that those things exist in such ubiquitous states that they've affected everybody and made them all confused.
Yeah, then
you have done a good job proving your
people at the top disseminated the misinformation, and they went out in ships. They went out in ships, and that's what they did.
But Merl, you don't know that they disseminated misinformation. You just think that that's true. Again, this is just an elaborate way of you insisting you're right.
Jem, can I ask a question about the mainstream media?
Go ahead. What's the topic?
No. Merl, you said you worked in the mainstream media. When did you take the truth and distort it to lie to the people when you worked in that media?
Well, because when I was in high school, I was told that Captain Cook in 1788 sailed in Botany Bay. Excuse me.
Well, listen to his question. Listen to his question. Yeah, but you're not being asked about school. You're being asked about when you worked in the media.
Yes. Unless that was in high school. Was that in high school?
No.
Okay. When you worked in the media, when did you take the truth and distort it to lie to the people? Give us an example.
Well, I was giving you an example.
Go on, then. Continue with it, please.
So, back in the day, they said that Captain Cook sailed into Botany Bay and it was all nice. He was greeted, there was exchanges, and we all got taught that. So there's an example. It didn't go down like that.
Is that something that is that something that you were responsible for broadcasting when you worked in media?
No.
Right. So the question was about when you worked in media, and you insisted that's the question you were answering. Now, the answer you've given us has nothing to do with when you worked in media. So that wasn't the question you were asking, was it? Answering. You were just telling them about something that happened at school. Again, something which you haven't established is false, something which you just think is false.
No, now all there's these things in Australia about reconciliation and like every time you go out, you have to forgive your tribal elders. No, you guys don't know what's
Are you
going
going to
on in
answer the question,
Australia.
Merle, or
Australia is full of lies.
But let's return.
The story of Australia is a lie.
Let's return to Brad's point, shall we? Go ahead, Brad.
Make the question one more time. Listen, Merle. He's going to make the question one more time.
He's not going to answer it, but I think Brad can just finish it off. Make the point.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's not going to answer it because the media doesn't do that. They report what they think is true, and they do get details incorrect, but they get the overall message right. And since you have no evidence to the contrary, and you worked in that industry, I think we can all agree that that's probably pretty accurate. Thank you.
Not necessarily. No, you're actually wrong.
Have you got any evidence, Merle?
Okay.
For the most part, they might be given the overall message as the truth, but sometimes they spit a narrative that's not true at all.
That's exactly what I said.
How about we ask the person in media?
Sometimes they spit a narrative that's not true at all.
Kikuchi, why don't we ask the person who works in media?
There's a big difference between a criminal investigative journalist and just a standard vox pop journalist. There is opinion, there's like editorial.
So, Mel, why did you bring up your experience in the media as being indicative of some other part of the media that you're trying to tear down? As some sort of experience that we should take into consideration.
Right.
And most of the world doesn't watch Fox News.
Because most of the time, if you've ever been involved in it, it's basically images and text. Okay?
Right.
Oh,
and so the text these days is being generated sometimes by AI, and you don't even have a journalist.
No, this has got nothing to do with when you were in the media.
That's the change. No, it's about information, and information is usually pictures and text.
Really
if you go back to your childhood, see, you're not intelligent, Tazza.
Yeah,
you're not intelligent. You claim to be intelligent, but you're not. And when you deal with an intellectual like me, you're out of your scope.
Oh my God, an intellectual like you.
I am an intellectual, Gem. Whether you like it or not, I am.
Okay, well, if you say so, but you aren't answering the question, are you? You're just rambling.
I'm not rambling.
Don't deny
you are.
When children start, they have picture books. When adults grow up, they have pictures and text.
Why do you feel you need to say these things to a room full of adults? Which adult here? Which adult here do you think isn't aware of picture books? Why are you saying these things?
Because what's the difference with the text? Where do you think the text comes from?
What are you talking about?
So there's words on a page that gets thrown in the bin and wrapped in fish and chip wrappers.
Have you got a point?
Yeah,
or is it just how slowly can I say nothing?
Every day there's words on pieces of paper.
Merl.
Yes,
Merl.
So far you've described a book. Thank you. It took you about 3 minutes to tell us all about the fact that there's a book. Thank you very much. What the fuck are you telling us this for?
Merl, there's carrots in the shop.
He's saying everything you learn is from a book. That's what he's trying to imply.
No,
I don't want to be mean, Merl. Let's not fall
saying
out.
that. You're not very good at this because you're not very intelligent, Gem.
You aren't saying anything, Merl. You're saying there's a book and there's graphics and there's text and children have a picture book and adults have a picture book. What does any of this mean? What are you saying? You are supposed to be establishing that everyone on Earth is confused. The only person who sounds confused here, Merl, is you.
Also, I don't agree with you there, man. Gempanda is not a dumb guy. He's pretty intelligent.
Muting and yelling is not the way to win an argument.
I'm not trying to win an argument. I'm trying to move the conversation on. And you're just frustrating it deliberately. You know you are.
No. You just won't accept, so you don't accept my position. Let's agree to disagree.
There isn't a position to accept.
You're not letting me establish a position because you're not intelligent enough to even establish one yourself.
You've established to a room full of adults that books exist, and it's taken you 5 minutes. Please move on.
What's your position?
Books exist. I agree with you so far.
What's your position?
Books exist. I agree with you so far.
Okay, so books exist.
Yes.
Who wrote the books?
All sorts of people, Merl.
Confused
But
people?
Always people, though.
No,
Did
not
confused people write the books?
No, they didn't.
No? How do you know they weren't confused, Jem?
Because I have no reason to believe that they were. But I don't have to prove that they weren't confused. You have to prove that they were, which you said you could do. You didn't say they were confused. You said, I can prove that they are confused. And then what you said was they watch mainstream media. And then you said there's such a thing as a book. And this is the thing that I can't understand.